I was married to Rachel for 5 years. Our relationship started out like a dream, so romantic, in fact, that I proposed just 6 months after we first met. We tied the knot in Greece, surrounded by breathtaking views. It was magical, the kind of wedding people write about. About a month ago, I finally began a long-awaited vacation. I was eager to make every second count. So we booked a 10-day trip to Turkey. The first few days in Istanbul were incredible. We explored ancient landmarks, took peaceful walks by the water, tried charming cafes, and dined at unforgettable restaurants. Everything felt perfect, like we were in sync, like nothing could ever break us. On the fourth night, Rachel said she wanted to go dancing and let loose at a nightclub. At first, I was all in. But that evening, I came down with a crushing headache. One of those migraines that makes it hard to move, let alone go out. Rachel was already dolled up in this breezy summer dress, her hair and makeup flawless, fully ready for a night out. I quietly wished she would choose to stay back and look after me, but she was set on going. She promised it would just be a couple of drinks, some dancing, and she'd be back by 11. We agreed to stay in contact so I'd know she was okay. She left around 7:10 p.m. and messaged me 20 minutes later, saying everything was going well. She was at the bar enjoying a mojito. At 8:40, she said she was dancing and having her second drink, still feeling good. That was the last I heard from her. I messaged again about 40 minutes later, and this time, I got no response. My message stayed unread. I called. No answer. I waited another while and tried again. Still nothing. That sinking feeling started to grow in my gut. Despite my headache still pounding, I couldn't sit around. I had to find her. She was my wife, and something felt wrong. I made my way to the club. She wasn't there. I asked the bartender, an American guy who'd been working there for a few years, if he'd seen her. I showed him a photo on my phone. He gave me this uncomfortable smile and told me she'd left with a group of local guys who were known to hang out there, usually looking to hook up with tourists. I felt sick. I offered him $50 for any more details, and he scribbled down an address where he said they usually went after hours. I followed it and arrived at a fancy apartment complex in a nicer part of town. The apartment was on the second floor. I walked up slowly and just before knocking I paused. Inside I heard a woman's voice, very clearly in the middle of something intimate. My chest tightened. Somehow, I found the strength to knock. A guy opened the door wearing nothing but a white sheet. And right then, something inside me just broke. I punched him straight in the face and stormed in. Another man was lounging on the couch, and on top of him, in a moment seared into my memory, was Rachel, my wife, like she was starring in some adult movie. I froze, then exploded, yelling something about how disgusting she was before stumbling out of there. Back at the hotel, I packed whatever I could, shaking with fury and heartbreak, and started looking for the earliest flight home. About 40 minutes later, Rachel came back, sobbing uncontrollably. She dropped to her knees and begged me to forgive her. In a moment of pure rage, I did something I deeply regret. I slapped her. I'm ashamed of it now, and nothing can undo it. But I didn't say another word. I caught the next available flight. As soon as I landed the next day, I went to the county clerk's office and filed for divorce. Rachel returned the following day and has been calling and texting me constantly ever since, crying, apologizing, pleading for one more chance. A month has passed. My heart still aches, but I'm slowly finding my footing again. I had all her belongings sent to her mom's place and changed the locks on our home. Work has become my refuge, something to pour myself into and distract from the hurt. I'm incredibly grateful for my best friend, who's been a solid source of strength throughout all this. Now, I'm just counting down the days until the divorce is finalized and I can finally close the chapter on that betrayal.